Welcome back to What Arty Noobs with General Disturbance. This is the Grille, the Tier 5 German SPG. This one is located on the west spawn of Airfield, and it's under the command of Appa561 of OLIMP. Now he's got a 15cm howitzer mounted on the hull that came from a Panzer 38. That's the same hull that's used for the Hetzer. Game on! Well, in fact, actually, the Germans used that same hull, which actually originally came from the Light Viz 38, the Czech tank, built at Pilsen, and it was also used for building Marders as well, the tank destroyer. In fact, it was put to good use by the Germans quite a lot because it was very reliable, had a decent engine, decent suspension, but it was rather thin on armour. Now you can see here that, whoa, he's got a big building in front of him, but he's trying to find a position where he can actually shoot at the enemy without getting spotted. And I think he's actually going to stay near the cap area because he can cover both sides at the same time. Okay, he's ready to go. First target is an AMX CLC, but he drops him straight away and has a look at this target, T6, but unfortunately from this position he can't get a shot, so he's going to have to change his spot just a little. Okay, there's the hangar. Oh, now that looks a juicy target. For a moment we were looking at a P2640. Don't have much in the way of armour, and this position really isn't working out for Appa, so he's going to have to find a new one. Doesn't have to move very far though. This looks better. Okay, looking for a target. He's found one, but he's got a red line. Okay, he's looking around these rocks. Well, T6 medium's coming down that road, and any second, rounds out. Ooh, splashed him for 71, but he goes down immediately afterwards, and it looks like he actually knocked the tracks off that guy, and that's why he died. Okay, he's going to have to move again because he's not getting good shots from here. He's getting a red line. Okay. Target he spots is that AMX CLC he saw right at the start, and he's hiding behind the rocks, so he can't get a shot at that guy, but he can hit this M4A1. Now this howitzer will do 480 alpha, penetrates 38mm of armor, and it's got a 22.53 second reload. Rounds out. Well, he got a splash for 124 out of that one. Now this is the same howitzer that's used for the Top Gun on the, or shotgun rather, on the Hummel. It's actually very effective on enemy vehicles because it's got a very high trajectory. Now, I was trying to dial in there on the AMX CLC, but he's getting a lot of reticule bloom, and that can come about because this vehicle only has a 10-degree arc. Oh, the M4A1 has actually flipped himself on the rock, and now he's taking fire. Rounds out. Oh, he gets a kill shot on the M4A1. Very unfortunate for the M4, but it's very funny for Appa to get a kill because of that guy's silly move. Went up against the rock and flipped himself over. Probably wasn't watching where he was driving. Now we've got a red line there, so we can't shoot at him, but we can hit this Covenanter. Now he's only shooting around the rock, so if we let this dial in, he thinks he's in cover there, but he's not, because we can put a shell over the top of the rock into him. He changes position, rounds out. This could be a kill. It is. He splashed him to death for 74 hit points. It's that large splash radius that actually does make a big difference. As you can see here, it's a 6.2 meter burst radius, so having a 15cm howitzer, even on a tier 5 Arty, can make a big difference. You only need to put the shell near a tank that's actually badly damaged, and you take them out of the game. Now he's changing position again. I think this might be more conducive to getting hit points on the enemy, although he is getting a bit close. That might actually hinder him getting damaged because you don't want to be close to the enemy. You want to be far enough away that you can shoot these shells up into the air and they come down on top of them. But the closer you are, the more difficult it is, because then you actually have to do direct fire. You actually have to shoot at an enemy tank that's in sight of you. I think I can see what he's trying to do now. He's actually trying to shoot at the enemy at the back. We found a Hetzer, and there was a Matilda there as well, but they've gone unspotted. There's another Matilda fairly close by, and, well, one of ours, and there's a P2640, but he's very low on hit points, so a nice direct hit could take him out. From this position, we can actually shoot into the rear of Temple Mount, and that AMX ELC is back, but now he's gone. Okay, we've got a T67 up there on the cliffs. We can reach him as well, but we've got a very flat reticule, and we can see he's now outside maximum range. Okay, so he's changing position again, getting closer. I worry about that P2640. The closer you get to him, the more likely that you're going to have to direct fire him if he comes into sight. But, well, he doesn't need to worry because the Matilda took him down. So now we're getting very close to the enemy. Okay, we're looking to get a shot on that T67, but we can also see the Matilda. It's a Matilda 4, the Soviet version, and the Hetzer. Now, it does take a little while for this to dial in, the Grille, but once it does dial in, it's very accurate. Rounds out. Let's see how that does. Well, it went where the shell was aimed. That DW2 is about to go down. He's gone. Now we're trying to hit the T67. Okay, rounds out on him. If he stays there, he could take a hit. Well, he was probably splashed by that shell because he was close enough. Now we're looking at an M8A1 Scott. Yes, you can see the T67's missing some hit points. We fire around in at the M8A1. And yes, got a bit of splash on him as well. Okay, let it dial in and wait for the reload to go through. Enemy Arty is in sight now. Rounds out on the M8A1. And they got the kill! That was a penetrating shot, I think. 341. It went through the enemy M8A1, but now we can see the enemy Grille, but he's outside maximum range, so we're going to have to get a bit closer. But in the meantime, we're going to have a go at this Hetzer. He's trying to fight off one of our teammates. Now, if we can dial in closely enough, get an accurate shot into him. That's fully dialed in. Rounds out, and yes, he got him! A direct hit took down the Hetzer. Now, can he get a shot on this M4? Matilda 4 rather. Rounds out on him. Oh, now that second shot was actually from Appa. It was close. Unfortunately, the M8A1 does get wiped out. Now, can we get a hit on this M4? The M4, Matilda 4. Oh, he does for 121. But the guy's moved down the ramp. Not so sure we can get another shot, but this T67, now he's fully blown reticule at the moment, but, well, dialing in slowly. Okay, he's probably there at that corner. Rounds out. That looks good. It is a kill shot. 5 kills now. 5 kills. Very well played. There's 2 Arty left on the enemy team. They've got 2 Grilles. Well, we know where one of them was, and that's all they've got left now, because the last of the enemy, the Matilda 4, was taken down by our Matilda. So, what we're going to do is we're going to try and take out one of those Arty to get the top gun. Now, he's having to go up on top of the hill. He doesn't really need to. He can shoot from the reverse slope on the hill. But we know where one of them is, and now we've just got to dial in and try and take him out. There he is. The other one's on the south coast. He's taking fire. He's a one-shot now. Oh, and he dies before we can get the shell in. Now, where is that other Grille? He was down in the dip somewhere. A little further back. Not quite behind that rock. A bit further back than that. No. No, he's looking over here. He should be looking a little further back. Nice. Oh, we can hear the enemy Grille now. He's actually on the corner. Okay, can you get a shot on him? He's lined up. Rounds out and... oh, I got him! That's the top gun. And the end of the game. Here's is the end of battle stats, and that was the first ace tanker for Appa561 of OLIMP in the Grille. You can tell it's the first one because you've got the scrolls underneath you. You only get that the first time. You also got a bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. In fact, you got 13. You got a high caliber for dealing the most damage in the game overall, and he got a top gun when he killed that last enemy, the Grille tank, and yep, took him out. That was the top gun. And his win rate from that game was 6,124, which is super income standard and quite a lot more. Let's have a look at team score. Well, the highest damage in the game was 1,801 hit points of damage. The next highest scorer was the Matilda 4 on the enemy team with 1,295, followed by their VK3001H on his own team with 1,230. When it came to kills, he had the highest number of those with 6. 3 kills went to the Matilda on our own team and the Grille on the enemy team. And when it came to base XP, it's actually the Panzer von Fear who did the best in this one. 908 went to him, 766 went to Appa561, and 716 went to the VK3001H. So he got 2 out of 3 on the tables. He fired 14 rounds, a decent amount of ammunition, 6 direct hits on the enemy, 5 penetrating shots, and 10 splash. Damage of 1,801 hit points, all of it at more than 300 meters. Now, I'm fascinated to know which ones he actually penetrated. Did he penetrate the MHA-1? Yes, the shell went straight through the very thin armor and took him out. He also penetrated the Hetzer because that shell came right down on top of him. And again, Hetzers didn't have much in the way of armor. They were stealthy, but only the front of the armor was really strong enough to deflect shells. The top armor and the side armor was very, very weak. The Covenanter, that was the splash kill. The M4A1, that was a direct hit, the one that was on his side. The T67, that was a direct hit, and it went straight through him. And the last tank in the game, that was the Grille. Yes, he took a direct hit right up his rear, and that was the end of his game as well. He also damaged 8 of the enemy, killed 6, and got 41 hit points of damage assistance. On a premium count, he earned 7,573 credits, and he also got 25 bonds for a mission achievement and 2,298 experience points altogether. He says, little by little, baby steps improvement. Well, definitely more than baby steps there. I think huge, whopping great steps where you actually get an ace, a high caliber, and a top gun. But the Grille is one of those arties where it does take a lot of practice to eventually get it because it's got such a narrow arc. The rescue bloom's quite big every time you select a new target, and you have to sit there and wait for it to dial in, and it does take some time. And of course, then you get distracted by either the target moving or something else coming into sight, which is a much easier hit or a much better hit. So yes, you can find it very difficult to maximize your damage, but you certainly maximize it in this game. It just took you a little while to find the right firing positions to make it work. And I think in these Airfield games, ever since the Wargaming has actually mutilated the north area of the map by changing it around to make it more difficult for Arty to hit enemy tanks, to create those corridors where tanks have to slug it out against each other, it's actually made it much more difficult for Arty to get shells in there to do damage. So you have to be very selective about where you go if you want to get damage in that area or onto the south of the map. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed that replay. If you did, please give this video a like. Do subscribe to our channel. Leave a little comment down below because it feeds the algorithm, gets the channel noticed, and gets the videos noticed so more people see what you do. And thank you for watching.